Hey folks, we're back here for another video live in living. It's gonna be uploaded, folks. Whenever I say live, it's obviously not a stream, but we of course have the recent ratings for Monday Night Raw from just July 13th, 2020. Now, and this is coming honestly, even with a live audience, a live crowd, we've been hitting under over mid ones since 2016. I don't know what you guys are not expecting here. We've been declining over now to the top 4 for lowest viewership on Monday Night Raw. Go home show for Monday Night Raw hit the lowest ratings probably in history before WrestleMania. Change your concept. No one cares that you have changed your demographic. There's been at least a spike of popularity, or at least a semblance of relevance or mainstream popular, you know, mainstream existence for the WWE back in like the early 2010s. We had Brock Lesnar, we had John Cena, CM Punk, but we're not excusing that crap. That wasn't enough. It is now 2020. Everybody's like, fire everybody, and they're always trying to be like, if we don't like the color of this paint, we'll just adjust it, and then we'll add some of these guys, but I don't like it. It's just really depressing. 8 p.m. hit a 158. 9 hit a 160, with just a decline, with the lowest hitting a 150 in the third hour of Monday Night Raw. And what did they hit during Monday Night Raw? Bayley and Sasha Banks against Kairi Sane and Asuka. Now, I'm never going to discredit the talent on how an overall show is booked. Majority of the people on the roster are hardworking men and women, and I will never disgrace their talent. That barely happens in the show. I'll talk about their looks and their wrestling, but when it comes to their to their hard work and how it came to get there, that's beyond the point. Y'all are hitting below twos because your show sucks. 2003 Monday Night Raw is better than this. 2004 Monday Night Raw was better than this. Hell, like, late 2010s Raw was better than this. At least I still had the Nexus to at least give me some source of optimism that something different was going to happen in the show. And now we have this. And some people want to excuse that it has some semblance of excuse to happen because of the corona outbreak. It's a part of the problem. You don't overall blame the problem on a public outbreak, on everything. All because the coronavirus restricts attendance doesn't mean people are not going to watch your free televised program. There should be no excuse. You guys been the only contact, and primarily the only the longest running contact sport to be on over UFC, over professional boxing. You guys been scratching near mid ones for the last 4 or 5 months. And y'all are gonna keep making these bullshit excuses. It's that poor. You have Akira Tozawa jumping up as a ninja. You have fat people just running around, just hitting finishers off the wazoo. You have a bland world champion. As much as McIntyre fits the part and how much he thinks himself as actually making himself captivating, Drew knows it's a fake crowd. And other than his wrestling, there's nothing that much interesting about him until he was a heel. Your best captivating top dog wrestler is out with an injury nearly every freaking minute, and now he's off in commentary. We have no top guys. We lost Roman. We lost. Rollins lost his abs, and Lesnar keeps leaving. Undertaker is dead. I mean, his career now. And of course, John Cena's gone to Hollywood. So, either way, Vince needs to actually, at least wipe the slate clean and fire more people, or to think of a different concept of his show. I'm not asking for a brand split from the mid 2000s. I'm not asking for Attitude Era. We're just asking for an entertaining program. Your live television audience. You are getting so sucked in to the high expectations of the smart mentality that you forgot that you actually were an entertaining source of television that excused fat people from watching something like the NFL, the NBA, or hell, the UFC, even how much they want to degrade us from actually being an entertaining source of contact sport. I don't understand why this is so difficult for some people to process. We just like seeing people fake fight. I don't know how that's the most difficult thing to make it into a constant source of entertainment every week. And it comes to an idiot 70-year-old that doesn't know during a pandemic that you can just die off somebody accidentally coughing at you, to not even get masks for the impromptu fans or the literal co-workers that have to be around each other for nearly 24/7 to actually wear masks until latter half of the summer. I mean, mid of the summer, and fire the a guy that literally has ownership experience, booking experience, in actual history in the business, and has worked under the company for nearly 20 years. Out of Paul Heyman. On the pimp slapping you did to most of the talent that was actually having potential to be main eventers. So if anybody is not understanding why the lack of popularity, the dyingness of the WWE can preach how much they want that their subscriptions to YouTube is more important than your major source of income out of your weekly televised show that you have kept for over 25 years, and the secondary one that you kept for over 20, and of course, your developmental show that spanned nearly 10 years. I mean, over 10 years. Practically, you guys are not getting the memo that nobody's coming to watch Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. It's a hard dose of reality. And if you're not looking back in the ways that you were shown from several years back, this is a major issue. And this is like TNA at its worst. I mean, at its best numbers. You guys shouldn't be getting what TNA strives to get. This is something that you guys should be avoiding. Hence, somehow you guys have the financial backing to keep Vince to continue fapping in a golden coffin for how long, and somehow grossing billions of dollars. You have to cut off people like Heath Slater, Sarah Logan that was recently pregnant, and plenty of other wrestlers losing jobs, or at least waiting until they get picked up again for at least the latter half of the year. And people are like, WWE will really open up come the fat neckbeards that, of course, wait for Adam Cole to be called up, and for probably Jinder Mahal to get a shot for for the world title, probably, and more NXT stars to keep committing career seppuku and coming to the main roster, when obviously most of them obviously have no source of TV experience, no source of telling a story, and the only thing they know to do is look like me, and of course do super kicks and shooting star presses. I'm sorry, Keith Lee's athletically gifted, but I'd rather see Umaga eat a turkey leg and stab people in the throat with a thumb than just see Keith Lee do shooting star presses. I'm sorry, that's just it comes to the source of, preference of what I like in wrestling, and obviously you have the freedom to choose what you like in professional wrestling. I will never judge. I will never stop what you guys like, but it's just a certain fact. No, nobody wants to see Seth Rollins doing a God figure gimmick, and he's still doing tope suicidas and Phoenix splashes with curb stomps everywhere. It's just dumb. We're getting a kid that looks like a 15-year-old version of Samoa Joe out of Dominic, eating up screen time, and there's no source of storytelling other than Ziggler just ripping off what he did with Kofi Kingston just last year for the WWE Championship. Someone please tell me why. Just tell me, why WWE's losing ratings in a rapid pace. It's just a cycle of the mediocrity, and the more times you guys just struggle to understand, the more this will keep happening. Or just not do anything. I don't care in the matter. My heart to actually care what WWE does. I'm just waiting what's the next bad thing. I already hear multiple wrestlers already accused of sexual assault, fired, positive for COVID, something about a breast implant incident with Charlotte, a lack of interesting stages to actually make pay-per-views feel important again, uh, retarded booking that just comes to the semblance of just wrestling is wrestling and no storylines mean anything, and it just utilizing part-timers like a snack food instead of something actually important to just get a tiny bit of a rating spike in, even though most of your constant stars are just not really television ready or show no semblance that they have staying power. It's just the fact of life. It's the fact of TV, and it's the fact of actually growing a brand. And WWE obviously has a lack of identity to the how many idea changes they had. It, if you guys obviously don't understand, it's perfectly fine, man. I've been watching this for over a decade and a half, so I know my shit that I've seen them in their best, and I've seen WWE decline slowly, get more corny, get more inconsistent, get more repetitive every episode of Raw. That they'll even just do a match, do a DQ, and then they'll get into impromptu of a match without anybody even having a say so, and the commentary feeling so goddamn bland. And you feel like, what's the real importance of watching the show? Obviously, I don't care about Ricochet shoving his finger up his ass, or McIntyre just saying that he's a fighting champion. It's it's just bland. It's just super bland, and probably many people uh, understand the struggle that any of us that, of course, been longtime fans and came from the Lesnar's, the Kurt Angles, Chris Benoit's, the Randy Orton's when he was younger, John Cena, just and Batista, just the guys that you know that looks like, oh my god, I want to be like these guys. These guys feel like I want to beat everybody up, and just it just feels like I can beat Rollins. I just need to like run as fast as I can and kick him in the throat. Kevin Owens just tosses celery at him, and of course Rey Mysterio just stomp on him. There's obvious reasons why people don't watch wrestling, watch WWE these days, or any semblance of wrestling. Even AEW, as much as I would like it to succeed, there's some logical reasons why it won't be picked up to the mainstream in such a quick pace. It's not WCW. It's a really new company, and really new wrestling biz, and it really needs a lot of time to actually grow. It's a fed that needs a lot of time to grow and a lot of impact. So they need bigger stars, bigger ways to actually make the shows feel more important than just semblance of wrestling. To actually have a reason for, especially the younger demographic and the teenage demographic and adult demographic, to watch it in a weekly leisure, other than just to target one specific demographic like AEW just does the smarks, WWE just do the smarks into children, and it sucks because it's limiting. Wrestling shouldn't be limiting, and that's the reason why WWE is declining in the viewership poll. So please, comment down below. Like, is this really exciting to you? I don't like talking about the ratings. I just review it for the sake of reviewing it. But this is just a reason. I hate seeing WWE like this. I hate, obviously, many fans, or just hate seeing something they watch for a long time that's been successful. Just feel like it's just depleting in popularity. And there's a slight goddamn chance they actually will have another goddamn wrestling boom, unless they think that wrestling is like Dragon Ball Z in this bitch. Even though somehow I wish I had, that actually exists. But, yeah. That's a come from me. Like, comment, subscribe. It's really depressing.